So guys, just to be absolutely clear, this video is not a review but merely a first impressions video. I've been playing Champions of Vestroia for more or less than 3 hours so far, and there's just a lot of stuff I gotta get off my chest about this game. By the way, this video's footage is just from my stream that I do every Sunday, so I definitely recommend coming down and hanging out while chatting about Bakugan and playing this game every Sunday, 2:30 p.m. Central Time, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Admittedly, I've been having audio problems with my stream though, so that's something I've been trying to fix, but I will always criticize myself over. And also, a majority of you watching aren't subscribed to my channel, so if you do enjoy my content, please consider subscribing. It really helps a lot, and I do appreciate any kind of support I get. But enough about me banging my head on the table and begging for subs. Let's get into the video. What were my first impressions playing Bakugan Champions of Vestroia? Well, it's not that good. I know I've been reporting on people having massive glitches and having their save data deleted, but so far I haven't had any glitches actually. At least so far. I don't want to make a full review of this game until after I've experienced the whole thing for myself. But this is the first 3 hours of this game, and in those first 3 hours it's supposed to draw you into the game. That amount of time is supposed to be how you keep your players immersed into the gameplay. First impressions are very important in video games, otherwise I'll just turn the game off and play Mario 3D or something like that. The story mode, you know, the feature that's supposed to suck you into the game, it's very lackluster. You literally run around town finding stuff, doing quests for lazy people to earn money, Bakugan, or most of the time clothes, or just exploring. It's an open world quest game, and that's something I could get behind, but if that's all you practically do for hours on end, it gets boring after 10 minutes. Walking around town is also extremely tedious. There's no soundtrack to keep my attention going. The game even lacks the basics of an open world. There's no minimap always displayed in the corner of your screen. There's no quest log either. The only way to get a map and quest log to have an idea of where you're going and what to do is by pressing the X button, so there's actually a lag to opening and closing it by like 3 or 4 seconds or so. Why couldn't they just leave it on the screen? There's plenty of space. There's not even a save option, at least not that I can find, and not even an indicator that says that it saves by itself. The start of the game, I'm immediately told to go talk to 2 people I don't even know. I've never heard of Miguel or Saida before. They've never shown up in the anime. I don't know who those 2 are. I don't know what they look like, so I literally talk to everyone I see until I finally found them. And then we finally get to the battling and combat, and oh boy, you run around staring at half your screen most of the time and collect Baku cores to power up your Bakugan to make them do a Pokemon move, and that's it. The cycle repeats until one of them dies, and they stand in the background doing nothing, and the controls feel so sluggish. The style of the battle system is clearly based on the reboot anime. Picking up the cores is a nightmare to do though. The detection is so picky that it screws me. Admittedly, there is strategy involved a little bit. My Aqua Cyrus probably would have died if I hadn't healed her a few times, and sometimes collecting the bigger Baku cores help make the Bakugan do attacks sooner. That saves them a few times. The key words from the TCG game actually have a part in the game, but I'm still having trouble figuring out what they do. I don't know what Flow does, and I don't know what Fury does. A little bit of reminder text would be helpful. Bakugan have 4 abilities that can be equipped named after the real-life TCG cards. Look at these: Curse of Darkest, Cycling Thoughts, Sword Barrage, Black Hole. Here's a suggestion. Why didn't you just use the TCG cards as the images? Why are the icons just messy art that looks like my 3-year-old cousin just drew them? Use the TCG card images. It would have helped promote the TCG, and also it wouldn't take much to do either. Just take the PNGs from the wiki, or at least just the artwork from the cards. That would have been better. The old games did it just fine. I don't know what the problem is. And Baku Gear in this game you only get after your Bakugan evolves, and it's terrible. It's just a passive defense item that you activate by giving a certain number of Baku cores. So far from what I've seen, they're defensive items that helps reduce damage from a specific target Bakugan instead of some awesome weapon that shows up to give Bakugan one last chance like in the anime. Did you guys at Way Forward not do enough research, or is this the best you can actually come up with? Speaking of lack of research, yeah, the Evos are literally just repainted models instead of added on redesigns like in the card game or even in the show, but I already knew that when I saw Nilius in the trailers and previews. Now, I do have a feeling the game picks up a little after the 3-hour mark because there are more brawls that you can do to acquire clothes, sometimes new Bakugan, and also to keep training your Bakugan, but my first impression on this game is just not great. I already consider it a crime to not have Hydronoid in the game, but it just seems so lazy. There's no soundtrack either, which is part of what we liked about the previous games. The actual toy models don't appear. There's no effort to mention the TCG game. Not to mention, there's no research even seems like they went into this game. It's just cheap. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I actually had high expectations, especially considering the price of this game, but I'm just very disappointed. Sure, yes, the battling gets engaging over time, but if this game doesn't have the details, the substance to supplement that, then what's really the point? But that's really my first impression experience. I haven't encountered any major glitches, but I might over time, so we'll see. I don't know if it's Spin Master not giving enough of a budget or WayForward just making something really cheap and just keeping the change. I really hope it's not the latter. Again, this is not a full review, it's merely a first impressions video. I want to be able to get through the whole game before giving my full review on it, and I'm willing to give WayForward and the devs a chance to fix this game's issues with patches before I deliver my final verdict in a full review video. So if you guys want to keep up with my progress, I do stream every Sunday like I said, but my first impression on this game is they could have done better and it really seemed like a rush job. This game seems very unfinished and they actually want $50 for this game, near the price for a full AAA title. I'm sorry, but go Fangzor yourself.